Let's get in Mark Sanchez. Fox Sports did the Niners-Rams game. We got a bunch of stuff later on that. Mark Sanchez is joining us.
Are you all right? Are you good? Oh, chill out.
I have a question for you.
I said it kind of under my breath. I didn't know if everybody...
Was there ever a time in your life? Because when you went to the Jets, it was defense and a run game. Was there ever a moment, Mark Sanchez, when you were on the sideline and you watched another offense and you privately thought, that'd be fun? Because I'm sitting there with Mac
Throwing
Jones.
the ball, what is that?
I watched Mac Jones last night and I looked at all the motion.
These guys are so advanced with this forward pass. Holy smokes.
I just thought, Mac's looking at that thinking, can I have a couple of those? Can I do that? Can I do that?
Well, I mean, it's twofold, right? Because the way you're talking about the game last night, sure, when you watch one of those offenses that looks like, the old school greatest show on turf kind of deal.
Right.
Part of it, and I think Coach Johnson mentioned it earlier, but
Jimmy.
all the motions they use.
Crazy.
I mean, it's turning into the Canadian Football League. These guys are like circling and rounding second base.
Yes.
And you're getting a full head of steam on a defender who
Rams
just has
are doing
feet
that a
in
little bit
cement.
with that well.
They're doing it excellent. The Niners do it well.
Yeah.
But basically, it just frees up these guys, and it ends up becoming a basketball fast break. And now Tua and Purdy look like point guards. And, it's the John Stockton, Magic Johnson kind of deal where, boom, we get a quick rebound and outlet, and let's rock. And so he just looks so comfortable in the second year of a system. I think that's normal. But sure, we talk about Mac Jones wanting to throw the ball, and then, go in the same division, go to the Jets, and talking about like, okay, well, run the ball more. Why are you throwing so much? And so I think the bottom line to all this is personnel. Your playbook's your playbook, sure, but it's based on your personnel. Sure, I have all these wonderful, beautifully drawn plays, and I got, assistants printing out copies of playbooks, and it comes out looking great, and there's all these beautiful lines on paper, but it doesn't matter. If we can't run that based on our personnel, we got 2 really good tight ends, not 3 excellent receivers. Well, we're going to be in 2 tight end sets a lot. You know what I mean? We got excellent running backs. We got a stable of them. Well, we're going to pound the rock. That's what we're built to do, you know? And so it's teams in this first month. If you can survive this first month and kind of establish an identity. Who are we?
That's a great
What do we
point.
do well? All right, this is going to be us. This is going to be our blueprint. Right. How many different ways can we run these 15 to 25 plays that we love and that we are really, really good at? And a lot of that is, what can the quarterback handle? How many years has he been in the system? How quickly does he process, right? There's so many different layers to this onion, essentially, and these teams are starting to figure it out. The Jets are going to be more run heavy. The Miami Dolphins, those dudes will sling it around the yard. They're going side to side, forwards, backwards.
And they should.
And they should, because they have that personnel. You got the cheetah, you got the penguin. Like, let's go, man. Uncage these animals in the zoo and let's go.
Yeah. So a lot of times coaches will say things, and I want to get it described. So you've been in the pocket, okay? So Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, Greg Cosell came on last week and said they don't necessarily see the field well. So, like, for the average fan, we're like, well, what does that mean? Is it an anticipatory? Is it lack of experience? I saw Justin Fields. I saw 2 things on the internet last night from above. There's wide open people. And I'm like, dude's not seeing it. This has been one of my knocks on Zach. Zach's got an arm. Zach can move. He's not seeing stuff. Russell Wilson had a couple plays yesterday. It's like, Russell, there's stuff wide open. Who do I blame? Where do I go with that?
There's blame to go around, in my opinion. I'll die on the hill for quarterbacks every day of the week and twice on Sunday. But you got to understand, one, we're not in the meeting, so we don't know exactly where his eyes are supposed to be, in sequential order. However, from playing the game and being around it for as long as I have a pretty good idea. It's kind of this or that. Maybe this was an alert, but I have an idea what the progression is. If anything, and some of this is a little bit of shell shock because you get hit a couple times in the pocket, and your answer, I don't care if you're Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, your answer either is to get down or escape the pocket. Well, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning can't escape the pocket left and right. They can't sneak out the back door and do the Elway pivot, the Russell Wilson pivot, and take off. Yeah, the Romo, right? Draw them in and then reverse out the back door. Those guys can't do that, so they'd either fall down or get rid of the ball, right? Protect themselves, move on to the next down. Well, when you're this athletic and you can get out and extend these plays, you start exiting the pocket maybe a little bit too soon because you don't want any of that noise in there.
Right.
It's a mean, ugly, nasty place up in that pocket, and you got to be pretty savvy to just that Brock Purdy poise, right? He'll extend plays if he has to, but all he really wants to do is just give a little hint to the left, a little drift to the right, a little shuffle towards the line of scrimmage, and then I'm going to take off vertically, attacking vertically in the pocket, attacking north in the pocket. Sometimes these guys get so committed to getting outside the pocket, and now you're just in a whole new set of problems because these defensive ends are so dang fast. They close on you so quickly, and now everything gets strung out in the back end, and these guys are having problems extending these plays and trying to force balls down the field, trying to compete and win every single snap. That's my only knock on some of these younger guys because they're not as used to playing from the pocket.
Right.
And when they play in the pocket, they've gotten hit in the pocket. So it's kind of a catch-22, right? You got to trust it and stand in there and take those hits, and you're kind of staring down the barrel, and you can't flinch. You can't blink. You can't flinch. You got to trust the guys up front and cut that ball loose. They've had some, tragic experiences trying to do some of that stuff, so the immediate answer is fight or flight. Well, we got to get the heck out of here. So I think that's part of it. And once again, it's reps, it's time on task, and all those things play into it, so there's blame to go around.
So one of the interesting kind of dichotomies of what's happening to Denver's offense, it's tremendous in the first half. Mm-hmm. Sean probably scripts 12 to 16 plays.
Yep.
Then in the second half, it goes off a cliff. So Russell's magic in Seattle was often fourth quarter playmaking brilliance.
Sure.
In 2017, I think the numbers were 19 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was a tremendous. They are two different teams. So is this telling me, you've been in this space, he's coachable, he's good on script. When you ask him to do stuff off script, there's no juice. He's a little lost. What are these numbers telling me?
Well, I think most importantly, we got to remember it's his second year in Denver. It's his first year in this system. This is going to take time. Whether you're Tom Brady, I mean, remember at the break, I keep bringing up this example, but at the break, they were 7-5.
7-5 and ugly.
And it was like, oof, Tom Brady's too old. He can't handle this. Gronkowski's too old. They can't make this work. And they went on a heater and ended up winning the whole dang thing. So in the second half of the season. So to say after 2 weeks that Russell can't play well at the end of the games, I think is unfair. I think this stuff takes a while. It takes more time on task. But bottom line is, even if it's not perfect in the second half, even if you're not operating at an incredibly high level in the second half, with an 18-point lead, like just get me out of a jam. You know what I mean? And it becomes that
Sure.
like self-preservation kind of idea. Like, boys, we got the win in a bag here. Like, let's just not give it away, right? And so whether you completely understand the reads and the situation, whatever, time on the clock, all the intricacies of playing the position, the big picture, 3,000-foot view is, shoot, we got this thing. Just take care of the football, waste some of the clock,
right.
Be incredibly smart with your throws and your decisions with this football. And unfortunately, you didn't see that yesterday. You throw the interception in the second half. Like, we can't afford to give many opportunities. And defense, we got to be a little better, right?
Yeah.
We got an 18-point lead. Fellas, come on now. Like, you should be pinning your ears back and attacking that quarterback because they got to throw the ball to get back in this game. Defensive line, go get yours. This is where you go pad the stats, right? This is where you saw the 49ers yesterday. That's what they do towards the end of the game. They wear you down. Now you got to play catch-up ball?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to throw it 3 times in a row? All right, Bosa, cut them loose. Let's go. And it turns into a track meet with those defensive linemen. So you thought you would have saw that maybe a little more from Denver yesterday, but once again, we're 2 games in. We're trying to establish an identity. We're figuring everything out. I wouldn't write them off just yet.
By the way, I will say before I go to break, Mims, the receiver they drafted early, had that's really encouraging.
Absolutely.
Judy, Cortland Sutton, him.
There's plenty of good to take away from that game, but it's just you want to learn those lessons with a W in your back pocket. You know what I mean? Like,
or a preseason.
Yeah, exactly. Just, you take that L early in the season, you're just, and it kills them. But, okay, this is a test of resiliency. This is a test of who's going to come in on Monday with juice, excited, knowing, hey, man, I need a 1 up and a 1 forward. What'd you do well? What I need you to get better at? Like, those kind of things are being established in Denver right now. And a guy like Sean, he sat in this chair last year. you know, if anybody can make it right, it's him.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.